Hey guys, and welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today, well, we're putting together a mob farm. So, I hope you guys are ready. So I was kind of thinking about doing a little bit more mining in this dimension, and I'm thinking, instead of torches, why don't we just actually make something that generates infinite light? Like, why haven't I done that already? And I have no idea. So let's go ahead and do that. And that ring, it's actually going to be this light ring. Places infinite light sources, or places infinite sources of light. All of this should be easily obtainable. Bam, we have a ring, and then we just need to make a little bit of glowstone. Now, it's saying I don't have glowstone. Oh, that's right, because I did use it I used it all to make all these lamps. So, well, I guess I'm going to the Nether. It's just a quick trip, and then, of course, I'll be back. Well, I don't think I've ever seen this before. B, I think you are in the wrong spot. Good luck in here. You know what? Good luck. Wow. That is very unfortunate for that, B. It'll never be back where it belongs. All right, so we're gonna head back, get that done, and I'll see ya down back in the mine. There's our ring, and to use this, I think we can keep it in our offhand. At least I hope so. And we can use it to place light sources. And they're just kind of these little particle effecty little things, and yeah, they don't look bad at all. By the way, to mine, well, let's just say it doesn't take very long to do that. This pick is, or this hammer is just absolutely ridiculous. So getting resources, it doesn't take that long anymore. Let's just put it that way. So I'm actually pleasantly surprised to find this little like mini biome, this mini mushroom biome down here, where we've got mycelium. And I needed some of this, so this stuff will spread, but we have to find it first. And I'm pretty sure a mushroom biome is just not a thing we're gonna find. So yeah, it's kind of neat to find this actually in a cave. It's like a little mini biome down here, and just happened to stumble upon it. So I went ahead and dug out a little bit of a room here, and this is going to be for one of our micro farms. Now, this micro farm in particular is made for 116. It is very small and compact for an automated farm for farming things like wheat, potatoes, beetroots, any of the Minecraft seeds. It should be able to do. And it's very weird. It feels like these micro farms get weirder and weirder every time I play an updated version of Minecraft. It really does. But right here, all we need is a dirt block, some waterloggable block, doesn't really matter. We'll grab ourselves a bucket, and we'll go ahead and place that in here. And of course, we can hoe this block if we go ahead and grab our hoe out of here. And there we go. We have a farm block. I'm going to go ahead and just add that there. We're actually going to have something right here anyways. So to get this to work, we are going to, of course, need dispensers. That's going to bone mill our crops at a really fast rate. And then we need to set up the redstone for it. So the redstone for it is just one redstone right here. And then we just need solid blocks. I'm actually going to try and use some better looking solid blocks. The blackstone I really like, so we'll go with blackstone. So I'm going to need some blackstone right here and blackstone right here. Doesn't have to be blackstone, but that's what I'm going with. And then we're going to have an observer that is facing into this dispenser. And then right here, we're going to put some redstone and line the entire top, and including on top of the observer. So now that that's done, like I said, this farm is super simple. We're going to place a piston. And I know, it's weird. It's very weird that that's a thing, but it is. And we just need a lever, really, and another block, and we're just about ready to go. Let's see. Let's actually use some blackstone. Why not? If I have enough polished blackstone. Is there a polished blackstone stair? Of course there is. So I need to take this with a lever. And our farm is pretty much complete. So we place a lever here, place ourselves a stair, and we activate this. Oh, there we go. And you can see right there, I know it's really loud, but we should be able to plant seeds and it actually collect right there. Now, you could go a step further with this by having a hopper cart down there, and that hopper cart basically suck the items out. That could work. That could easily be a thing you could do. So let's go ahead and put this into practice. I know, it's really weird. So let's go ahead and put this bad boy to the test. So we just turn it on, and we just hold down right click right here. And, oh, by the way, you do need to put bone meal in this farm. It might work if we had bone meal that was in it. That might help. Also, I do need to break this in order to get to this hopper. That is the only downside, but we could set up pipes on the back to fill these, no problem with the chest. So that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. Let's go ahead and get bone meal in here. I should have enough of that. I'm glad that I have all these uses for bone meal, because sometimes bone meal just kind of sits in your chest and you're like, what do I do with it? Like, I don't need it for anything, but Minecraft really has come a long way. With the inclusion of villagers and stuff that'll trade you emeralds, and emeralds are actually worth like stuff, like they're worth things for like food, golden carrots, like they're really important. So having them around is not a bad idea. All right, so let's go ahead and do this, and I'll fix this back up, because really I guess all you need to do is just break this block here, and I guess you gain access to it. Now, the reason this block here, let me kind of explain what this is doing. The reason this block's here is to keep it dark in there, because you can place things on the ground, but as soon as it's too dark, it technically will break. But because this is bone milling it, there we go. Now we get wheat. So this is how crazy this is. Look at this. We already have 30, and you basically just hold down right click and it's going to constantly refill your seeds, and you're going to gain wheat at a really high rate. Now, to make the sound not so loud, you just turn your block sounds down or turn them off, and then it'll be a completely silent farm. So to do that, options, sound settings, turn your blocks all the way off, and then you get no sound. And I mean, it's working like this. Yeah, you can just have something hold down your mouse key, or you can set something on your key, use an auto clicker that holds it. Honestly, you can hit F3 and T and it will actually hold down. Like, that's actually a part of Minecraft. It may be a bug of Minecraft, but it's been in there since what, 1.13, I think. You can hold down your button, hit F3T, it will reload your textures. Now, because this is a mod pack, it will take a little bit longer to reload those textures, but in this pack, it actually doesn't take very long at all. And once it does that, you can let off of your right-click button, and it should still be holding that button down. And that is just, built right into Minecraft. And it was definitely really useful when fishing farms were a thing. But unfortunately, fishing farms in Minecraft 1.16 are kind of not a thing anymore, because now it requires like a certain amount of blocks underneath you, and it's a whole mess of things. You can no longer fish out of a single block space like you used to be able to. So let's see how much we've gotten just from this so far. Oh my. Yeah. So yeah, I think there's even items that are, had built up. But yeah, so like carrots, for example, you can do this with carrots as well. Just to show you. Carrots work, and we just start building up carrots. Yep, and it should be an exponential growth, so you should be able to just hold on to whatever carrot you have. And if you really wanted to, like I said, you could set up a system that underneath here was a hopper cart, so you could push this block into a hopper cart, and then just hopper the items out if you really wanted to. And it should collect the items very easily for you. So once you run out of bone meal, though, it will no longer be working. So like I said, you do want to have a consistent amount of bone meal going into this in order for it to work. And it does look like it uses quite a bit of bone meal, and it uses it really quickly. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing in my opinion, because it uses up your bone meal. It gives you a reason to have bone meal and a reason to use your mob farm. Now we don't have a automated system to collect bone meal, so we're still using like just stand there at our mob farm and AFK at it, because the farm that we have currently doesn't support that. But eventually we might, with a cursed farm, I think we might be able to set that up. And that might be something to try out today. So before we leave, we can't let anyone know about our secret farm that's over there. I don't want anybody finding out that we have that. So to do this, I'm going to use a stone camo door. And what this will do is if I place it here, it just looks like a part of the wall. But when I right click it, we enter in to our farming domain. We have our secret farmer station over here, and you would never even know it existed. Unless, well, of course you watched this episode. So before we get started with this mob farm that I'm really wanting to try out, I want to see what some of these other tools can do to maybe help us with that. So right here we have a fan, and I'm assuming it's going to take a redstone signal. So, all right, so we have this fan. And how far does it push us? And that's really important because the block that it actually pushes us to is not technically the block that I want it to push on. So we have 1, 2, so I'm gonna count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, that's basically the same flow rate as water. Now, its most powerful push point is probably gonna be between 1 and 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right about here. So with that knowledge, I should be able to set this up and have a mob. I have a mob cage that's maybe right here. That is 5 blocks by 5 blocks, and we could use fans to maneuver our mobs. Now, I don't know if these compete. I would assume they do compete with the way everything else is working. So if we have this fan, for example, set up and we have another fan blowing this way and another fan that over here that's blowing this way, those two fans are probably going to cancel each other out. So it's not going to be beneficial for us to have fans on the side. So maybe just fans blowing one direction, leaving us maybe, or we can even have it on both sides, but I'd prefer to have the fan just pushing straight out. And then right here, we just have a row of spikes like those diamond ones over there that drop experience and everything. And then what we would use to collect them is probably just a regular XP hopper like we've used for everything else. And that would, or not an XP hopper, a, what is it called? These hoppers, the hopper that's over here, these guys, the ender hoppers or whatever. We'll use those because those, not only do they pick up experience and we can bottle that experience up or pipe it out. I think we can pipe it out. We can use that, and collect items as well. And that should work great. Now, the only problem is getting the items out. So we'd have to set it up so that way the items can make it to it, which can tend to be a problem considering hoppers are not transparent, or hoppers are not solid blocks, so they're transparent and they let light in. And this farm is probably going to require it to be dark. That is going to be our only downside to using it this way. So, and there's not a good item in here that can pull from the side of a block. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm sure we'll figure something out. I'm so happy that this glass exists. It's called dark glass, which is opaque to light, which means even though it's glass and you can see into it, it doesn't let light in. It is completely dark, technically, which makes this fantastic for mob farms. It lets you see into the mob farm, and the whole thing, I mean, this is probably the clearest dark glass I've ever seen. It's super clear, but you can see it's actually still making it dark in here. And I want this all to be nice and open. That's how I really like these farms to be. So let's go ahead before it gets too dark in here. Let's place a couple light sources. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab just dirt, right? This whole floor needs to be filled with dirt. And we also will use our builder's wand. Why not? So I have this set up 5 blocks, like I said, but I did extend this 6 blocks because right here is actually going to be something other than dirt. I really want to set up a chest here. Now, I noticed that up here that this actually allowed items to pass through it. So when the mobs fell, items were actually allowed to go through. Now, they were actually on top. So I'm wondering is if at 5 blocks, will they actually drop down into a pit if I set up a little pit for them? And so the pit will actually need to be a few blocks. Now, the only problem I'm hoping doesn't happen is going to be Enderman. By the way, I need to sleep. An Enderman might actually pose a little bit of a problem. You know what? Hold up on that. Before that even becomes a thing, let's make sure that the vacuum hopper will not work. Because I really want this vacuum hopper to do its thing. And I think the best way to get that to work may be to have this just one layer down So have the spikes technically one layer down, and place this hopper here, and then have of course, the hopper underneath with the piping system there. And then we'll just surround that from this point. So that way items and experience don't really get trapped, and we probably won't be introducing a lot of light into the system. Let's hope that this block right here won't put out a lot of light. It shouldn't, because the front will be blocked as well. So that might be a really good solution for this. So what we need to do now, let's go ahead and break these blocks, and I'm going to go ahead and build the spikes. They do take a little bit of time to make, as I do need to make a bunch of iron spikes and then also diamond, and I need to make sure that all of my tools are placed in my bag so I don't make a big mistake and break my really nice sword that I really like. So there we go, diamond spikes made. We also need to make the fans. That is the other thing. Now there's an analog fan. I don't know what the difference is on these fans. Is one just like always on? Like what's the difference in a different, is it like the same speed? I don't know. I guess the only way to find out is to test it, right? That's something that I'm really good at. Okay, I can't really tell. Maybe we'll need another fan to be able to find out. Analog versus, I mean, analog is very different. So lever, that went in there. So right about there, I hope they don't like fight against me, but it does push them, which actually maybe we'll just do the analog. That might be a better option. Yeah, I'll go ahead and make all of them analog. Why not? So we need 5 analogs. And what I'm actually going to do back here is very simple. I'm just going to mine this out. And I think my axe is actually in here. So you guys are going to be happy. I actually have an axe on me. Look at that. I've upped my game a little bit. And back here is going to be just redstone blocks. That's going to be probably as simple as it gets. Redstone blocks. Just like that. Bam, 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 and bam. Man, we're doing a lot of redstone today. Wow, you guys are getting lucky, I guess. There we go. And all of that is basically done. So before I finish this whole thing off, let me go ahead and place the glass in here and leave a single spot open, because we're going to have to use that single spot to place some stuff in. And that is going to be the cursed seeds. Yes, we need to make some cursed seeds. I'm going to go ahead and use 2. Maybe that'll help speed it up a little bit. And do I need to break this? I guess I do. Is it not the cursed seeds that do it? The droplets? Or does it have to be grass? I thought that should. I thought cursed seeds worked on here. Oh, unless it has to be nighttime. I think it has to be nighttime in order for these seeds to work. Okay, I think I remember that when I tested it out a while, like when I first started messing around with this pack. So I guess until then, I'm going to go ahead and see what I can do as far as making this fit in a little bit better. I think maybe these obsidian bricks are just a little bit obtrusive. So yeah, I'm probably going to mine out a bit of this and replace it with some different brick variants and maybe some cobblestone. Well, at this point, I think it's nighttime. So let's go ahead and get seeds. The cursed seeds, and this should now work. Yeah, there we go. So this is going to spread. Now be careful, because like I said, it does spread. And you don't want it to... Oh, you know what? We might need some raised spikes to fix that problem. I didn't even think about that. We do have some extras. So maybe I can just place spikes here. And that will help with our spider problem, because... Yeah, I don't care for spiders too much. Oh, no, no, no. Woo! That took a little bit. All right. We almost lost it to a creeper. So, now that I have this closed in, there we go. Once this spreads out, hopefully, this will be a lot better. And hopefully these two will stop spiders from doing anything else. But I could also just place spikes along this wall here, And that would really damage just about anything that spawns in there. So yeah, after watching this farm a little bit, I'm already seeing these spider jockeys, and I have a feeling this is going to be a persistent problem. So to deal with this, and also I need to get the hopper set up, I'm going to go ahead and hop back in here. I'm going to place my light sources. That should stop mobs from spawning, as long as they have some light. And I guess fix this problem, right? And do these guys have more health? So these guys easily take damage and have no problem, you know, expiring. But yeah, we need to change how this whole system works. And to do that, I think I'm going to just place dirt here and let that spread even more. So we'll just go ahead and let that take its course. And by the way, it shouldn't hurt us to be here, but we got to be careful when we place the spikes in, because yeah, and oh, these can only go one direction, huh? So they can't be placed against the wall. But they can be placed against the floor. Now, I don't think that will change how these interact, but this might actually be better than how we had it set up before, where they fall, because for some reason spiders just, I mean, they just cause problems. And does walking into this hurt, or is it only when you're on top of them? Well, for us, it's not. We're not taking any damage. Let's test this out. Okay, so we do get pushed on top of them, but while we're holding shift, oddly enough, we don't take any damage. That's kind of cool. And pull all this stuff out. As you can see, we're already collecting a lot of different things. I'm going to go ahead and break that. I need to get my glass back in here, so I definitely need to make more dark glass, which I really like this stuff. By the way, there's a few different types. There's like allows passage while sneaking, which is kind of cool that this is even available. So there we go. And we might use that later on, like to allow us to get into this farm if we need to, but for right now we don't really need to. And then let's see, glass bottles. This is another thing that this lets you do, is place glass bottles in here and pull out bottles of experience, which works fine for me. I have no problem with this, because then we could just use that to spam levels on the ground and like undrain all this, like, and actually still store experience, and it stores quite a bit of it. So as far as storage goes for our items, why not just make the expanded chests right here and yeah, create ourselves like diamond level chests. I think obsidian chests, aren't they? They go even larger than that. And will these like double stack like all the other ones do, giving you like a crazy amount of storage? If not, I'll still be able to use it somewhere else, but I did want to test that out. Like, can we double stack this and make like a insanely large storage system? I have no idea. So to set this up, I'm going to do the same piping system I've done before. We're going to have just a standard item puller with our pipes. And of course, we need a hopper to get this to pull out. Now, the only problem is I hope it doesn't, I hope it doesn't pull my glass bottles out and like pull out my bottles of enchanting. That I think it probably will just pull out the bottles of enchanting. No, it pulls out everything, including, well, no, my glass bottles. They actually, when I release, it actually, so I have to put the, oh man. I was hoping the glass bottles would stay in there. Well, they don't. Oh well. That's not a horrible thing though. It's not horrible. But yeah, I got to get this piping system set up. So pipes, I think that will work. And then pipe down here and just pipe on up. Don't want it to do that. That would create some kind of weird looping thing. But let's see if these chests stack interestingly. They do. How cool is that? And we can actually just leave that like that. Wow, that is a large storage. Whoa, okay. And yeah, I think that will do it right there. That is huge. And that's going to pull from here. We just need to be able to access this, and we can just let this just do its thing. It's just going to run on its own. Now, it probably will run better at night. I'm assuming, because I haven't seen as much come out of this, but from what it looks like right now, it's doing a fantastic job, even with it not running that often. it still grants us the occasional mob drops, which I will take instead of having to AFK over there. So as always, I want to give a huge thanks to one of my Patreons, and today I'm going to thank two Lulz. Thank you so much for your tremendous support. I'm going to slap that with some lime dye. I really appreciate it. This farm is working fantastic, and I thank all of my patrons for all of my tremendous support and my Twitch subscribers. If you didn't know, I also live stream over at twitch.tv/ChosenArchitect, where you can find me there usually sometimes throughout the week. I'm still working out a good schedule for that, so bear with me. And guys, if you haven't already checked out our Discord, I recommend checking that out. Link down in the description below, or it's discord.gg/ChosenArchitect. We have an awesome community over there, which I would love for you to join. Guys, I will see you in the next episode. You know how it goes, and I hope you enjoyed today. If you haven't already clicked that subscribe button, what are you doing? I wish you'd do that. I really do appreciate it. Guys, I'll see you in the next one. As always, thanks for watching.